What Tina taught me about love. When that song came out and when that movie came out, I was young enough to hear it as a love song about heartbreak. A catchy question to a beat, but it took me decades and a life that I did not see coming to understand it wasn't just a rhetorical question at all. Let me tell you what I mean. The story everyone remembers is a talented woman, a dangerous marriage, a name change, and a second act. It gets told like it's a story of endurance. Like the impressive part is how long she survived it. But I don't think that's the lesson for me anymore. My lesson was in her leaving.
I need to speak with your manager.
Yes, ma'am, right away. George.
I'm Tina Turner. My husband and I just had a fight. I'm supposed to open at the academy tonight. I have 36 cents and a mobile card. But if you would give me a room, I swear I will pay you back.
No,
Please.
that won't be necessary. Now, Miss Turner, I'd be honored, really. We'll take care of you.
Thank you.
Nick, let's get Miss Turner a room.
Thank you.
The moment she decided her life was worth more than the relationship that made her famous, that's not a footnote to the story. It is the story for me. I bring this up because I lived a version of that question myself. And for a long time, I was asking that question wrong too. Recognizing what I was and what I was going through was eye-opening for me. I was in a relationship, a marriage that became toxic and very dangerous. And it took me longer than it should have to admit that to myself and to other people. But, that's how it works. You don't just wake up one day inside a dangerous relationship. You get there gradually, one normalized moment at a time, until it starts to feel like your life is abnormal. I minimized it. I explained it away. I told people it wasn't that bad. I even told myself it wasn't that bad. Or, this don't happen every day. It just happens every now and then. Or he didn't mean it, or it'll be different next time. I said versions of all of those sentences to myself more than once. But my Ramada M and Tina moment came when my husband told me he would kill himself, me, and my kids. Now this time, something clicked, and the life I lived with him up to that point was proof enough to believe him when he said it. Now, what I understand is that a woman can be strong, she can be capable, even admired from the outside, and still be in real danger behind closed doors. Those two things are not in conflict. They coexist all the time. I think that's part of why Tina's story is stuck with so many of us. The talent was real and the danger was real. And at the same time, she shouldn't have had to choose which one to believe. There wasn't just one single dramatic moment that made me leave, if I'm honest. Even though I can feel that way looking back, there was a point where I finally understood all the way down that if I stayed, I was not going to survive. And the worst part, that the people I loved, they might not survive either. And that's what it took. It wasn't that this is uncomfortable. It definitely wasn't what I wanted. It was just dangerous. And I had to do something to get out. So I relocated to California to save our lives. And I want to say that clearly because I know some of you watching are in a version of that decision right now. And I don't want to sugarcoat it into something smaller than it was. Leaving was not a clean break with a moving truck and a bunch of hurrah and a big bon voyage party. No, it was filled with secrecy. It was filled with lies. It was filled with fear. And it had a lot of anxiety attached to it. Also, it was filled with grief. The relationship I had once believed in, the relationship or the vision of the relationship that I thought would come to pass, I grieved that as well. The anxiety I felt went through the roof along with the guilt because although I was being abused, I still felt bad for him. If you've heard this before, the most dangerous part in the abusive relationship is the moment that you try to leave. And I want to validate that because while I was going through that, I felt like he could feel that I was plotting to leave. And I had to keep all of that to myself and act like everything was okay. That was really hard. And I had 2 small children. It's why leaving takes so much more courage than people give it credit for. And why it's never just as simple as just go. But I went. And on the other side of that decision, I had to figure out how to become me again. And I really didn't know who I was because I had been performing the whole time. I was trying to manage a crisis and be a whole person on the outside. And now I had to figure out how to be on the inside and create a future for myself. So I relocated to California. And what I found in California was spirituality. I had enough stillness to find myself. Like Tina, I started meditating, not because I was chasing enlightenment, but because I needed somewhere to put my mind that wasn't surrounded by fear on a constant loop. I needed security. I needed stability under me that didn't depend on another person's mood or safety being unpredictable. Meditation gave me that stability. It gave me that floor. It sounds simple, almost too simple for something so serious, but sitting quietly and learning to breathe through fear instead of being run by it rebuilt something in me piece by piece. Spirituality gave me a container to put the whole experience in. So I started to feel like I hadn't just survived something, I was being led somewhere. I realized that my life still had meaning, and it wasn't just everything that happened to me. It wasn't easy, and it surely wasn't instant. It took some time. It definitely did. It was not a weekend retreat, and then suddenly, bam, I'm healed. It took years. Years of showing up to my own mind every day and choosing again and again and again to build my self-worth. And I had to learn that everything that my husband tried to make me be or said that I was or said that I was not, that didn't belong to me anymore. What love actually meant to me was self-love. So when Tina says, what's love got to do with it? It has everything to do with it. But it's not love for another person. It's self-love for your. So that's where the title comes back around for me. For most of my life, I thought love meant staying, enduring, proving, loyalty by how much I could absorb without walking away. You know, I wanted to be that ride or die. I think a lot of us were raised on that definition, whether it came from a movie, a song, a marriage, our parents, a culture around us. But what I now know is that love was the reason why I left. It wasn't the reason why I stayed. It was loving myself enough to believe that I deserved safety. I deserved kindness. I deserved respect. And my children were watching the whole time. And I decided that I wanted my children to see a different movie. I love my family enough to protect them, even though it cost me everything. I was loving my future self enough to give her a chance at an actual life instead of a managed crisis. So for me, that's the answer to the question as far as I'm concerned. What's love got to do with it? Everything. It just has to be aimed at the right person, the one I'm finally willing to protect, and that's me. What I would tell someone in it now, if you are watching this and some part of it sounds familiar, I'm not going to tell you that it's simple. And I'm not going to tell you exactly when to go. That's up to you. Only you know your situation. And only you know what's realistic and safe in your specific circumstance. But what I will tell you is that it is possible to build a new life. Not a diminished life, not a cautionary tale, an actual full, meaningful, joyful, promising, hopeful, and safe life. And I'm living proof. I wasn't sure I believed that for a long time either. If you need somewhere to start, The National Domestic Hotline is available 24/7, and the number is 1-800-799-7233, or you can visit thehotline.org. You don't have to plan your way out. You just have to be ready to start. So, this is where I land. I don't carry that chapter of my life like a victim or a wound that's bleeding from it. I carry it as proof. Proof that I was capable of protecting myself and the people I love, even when I didn't feel brave in the moment. The meditation practice I picked up out of necessity became a permanent part of who I am today. The spirituality I found while running became the foundation I stand on now, steady, not running from anything anymore. I used to think love meant staying no matter what. Now I know it means leaving when it matters and choosing yourself enough to build something better on the other side. So, that's what Tina taught me about love and what it has to do with it. If this video resonated with you, or if you're somewhere in the middle of your own version of this story, I'd love for you to share it as much as you feel comfortable in the comments. And if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I share honest conversations like this one every single week. So, until the next video, peace and blessings, and I'll see you on the other side. Stay safe.